and take the steps, then this will add up to your 10,000 steps. Thank you. I see a lot of people moving. Please do join us here at the front.
Hi, Apana. Apana. Hello. Good to see you. Looking forward to your keynote.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a refreshing break. Did you have a good break?
I did. I had a cup of tea. Really needed it.
Yeah, and I had a quick tea as well, but I went around and I chatted to a few people. I met a gentleman, a designer from India, from Hyderabad. I think Raj is here. He said, I hope you can bring this back in India as well. I have a friend from the Association of Small and Medium Enterprise, Takwai, if he's here. I also spoke to him and he said, this is really interesting. He even asked me, where can I get the book? Well, here's the book.
We're going to talk about that now.
You can get the book right where you have the photo area, the photo booth area, so you can get that. I also got a question from one of the people I talked to during the break. Is there a DNDA office in Singapore? He asked. They said that if we want to work with DNDA, where do we go? Well, you don't go anywhere. You stay here in Singapore Polytechnic because we have the SP User Experience Center. So if you want to know more, work with us, collaborate with us through DNDA, Humanity Standard Design, you are in the right place.
Definitely, please come and talk to any of us. We'll be really looking forward to collaborate with everyone.
Have you seen the book?
Of course.
Yeah.
Let me hold it up for you here.
Yeah,
take
look at that.
Oh, nice.
This is an easy read. It's 200 pages.
222, is it?
Yeah, but seriously, this is really something that you should all pick up and go through it, look through it, because it's really, really interesting. Now, we're going to move on to our next morning plenary session. Look, you all had your break. I'm sure you have a little bit something in your tummy. You're not hungry anymore. So you're going to pay attention. You're going to engage. But the guy who's going to lead us in this plenary discussion is not yet quite full. He is still hungry.
What is he hungry for?
Hungry for curiosity. He has a pin that says,
right here?
Hungry for curiosity, yes. How cute is that, right?
Yeah.
Very, very.
Design Education Summit, right?
Picked it up last week.
Mario, where did
It's
you
mine.
get that? Where did you get that, Mario?
This is a keepsake from last week's Design Education Summit by the
Yes.
lovely Tansin.
Can we give a warm applause to the Design Education Summit? Apparently, it was a big hit. We missed it, though.
Yes, I concur.
And did you say that that was one of your top 5 summits
did.
you've ever attended in the last 30 years?
I did, and it's not just talk. I put that on record.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Ah, wow. It's not AI, right? Not AI generated.
No.
All right. Well, we'll love to hear more about that. So please catch Mario later on during the break and talk to him about that. But
I thought you were going to ask him, so if that's top 5, we must be top 1, right? Soon. By the end of day 3, we'll come back to you, and then
on
we'll
day
get your
3,
review
we'll check
again.
in on you.
But the top 5 is fluctuating.
Okay.
As you go from
we'll
conference
come
to
back to
conference.
you, top
Yeah.
3, day 3.
Mario is not a stranger to Singapore Polytechnic. He's been here a few times. He knows, and you probably have ridden, I didn't see you in MRT this morning. You said you took the MRT and everything else so you can,
This time I was by bus.
Oh, you took the bus.
So I was on the other side.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm a little upscale. I took the MRT.
There you go.
All right, let's get started. You've already met the man, Mr. Mario van der Meulen, Chief Experience Officer at Aleph Labs, to join us here and moderate us and carry on this interesting conversation. Mario, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
To you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. So yes, my name is Mario. I am a graphic designosaurus. I graduated 30 years ago in graphic design, so BC, before computers. And the parallels of today's reality do not escape me. Our world is in flux. Our disciplines are changing. Now what? There is a clear signal that was given this morning on what that possibility could be if we see design from a new light. Fantastic presentations this morning. I want to give another round of applause, actually, for our presenters from this morning. Thank you. Who here has submitted questions for us for this panel? Who here is now persuaded to perhaps consider asking questions for this panel? Please do so. Use the app for that. We are ready to respond and reflect on your thinking. And I'm not doing this all by myself. I have 3 wonderful panel members with me. To get us started, I will ask each of you to quickly introduce yourself. I understand you have slides as well, so we'll do that, and then we get to business. How about that? Round of applause for my panel members, please.
Thank you, Mario. Good morning, everyone. I'm Noor Hidayah. I'm Dean of the Faculty of Design at LaSalle College of the Arts, University of the Arts, Singapore. So if you're interested to know more about LaSalle UAS, there's a learning journey tomorrow, shamelessly pitching here. So I wanted to maybe share a couple of my own notes and a collective ethos for the Faculty of Design at LaSalle. So in line with today's theme and looking at humanity-centered design, we hope and we continue to look at how we position design as an agent for change, and also looking at how we use design as a language to imagine future possibilities, good possibilities. So I wanted to share a little bit about some of the projects that we've been doing, and I call some of the work that we do considering and establishing and nurturing future citizen designers. So we ask ourselves 2 very big questions, and I'm sure these are similar questions you ask yourself on an everyday basis. What is the role of design, and what is the role of designers, right? And for us, these serve as a catalyst and compass for learning and teaching, research, and also for creative leadership. And in doing that, we hope to foster a more inclusive, critical, and creative academic ecosystem, one that will prepare our designers, not just for the industry, but also for a world in flux, as we all know, as we heard today, this morning. So some of the projects we've been doing. And these are some of the anchor areas, looking at empathy in design. Sustainability and care is a very big agenda for LaSalle UAS. Humanity-centered design encapsulates some of the work that we do, as well as we are very, very interested in what are the roles of designers for tomorrow, and how can we then create, bigger roles, better roles for designers. So I came up with some manifesto just to anchor some of the work that we do, but also becoming some of the different catalysts for the projects that we do. And these are the 10 areas that we look at, and to perhaps evidence or expand on some of these themes, some of the projects I'll share now. This is a master's design research project that looks at polyspecies environment. So we have a student that looks at how we can create more than human-centered design. Right? I think as he was doing this project in the year 2019, 2020, there were a lot of samba deers that were killed in Mandai, and so how do you then build a more dynamic ecosystem for a polyspecies environment, one not just catered for human, but more than human-centered design. Looking at future of craft, heritage and luxury, a simple project looking at recycled leather, but using concepts of everyday Singapore. So everyone's familiar with, how we tapao our food here, right? And often, we associate that. And when you buy your chicken rice, it's in the brown paper, and then the rubber band, and how that translates into an object of desire. Looking at creative sustainability, and in this regard, we did a project with Indigo, and push our students, fashion students, to not just consider looking at the textile innovation, but where the dyes come from, the whole understanding of the fashion ecosystem, all right, from nothing to something, and then to have a more appreciation of nature as well. a project on food and food as a mediator of cultures and bringing people together. As we all know, that's very important here in Singapore. Food brings everyone to the table. We share different conversations through food, using food as a tool, and that becomes a very interesting project. This is another master's research project that looks at surfing and looking at developing community-based project for surf culture in Peninsula, Malaysia and Singapore. And it wasn't just a surf project, it translated looking at data, algorithm, machine learning, looking at our body functions, balance system, and it was really, really interesting that that prototype then looks at how we could consider mobility, and also I think our student Dia also did a small-scale prototype looking at how we can help children who are flat feet, who have flat feet as a condition. Food again, but this time a project conceptualized on rubbish theory by Michael Thompson, looking at cooking rubbish, bringing positive and the negative together, and how we can curb the whole issue of food waste. Again, from food waste, ecological waste, looking at textiles as well and textile innovation, and also considering everything from material to threads to how you make something beautiful, but what's the language there that we hope to bring across to a simple garment, right? Projects by our Design for Social Future student, working with the Office of Sustainability at the National University Hospital, Singapore, and we are very, very honored and privileged that we were given a seat together and understand the whole surgery, but also having those conversations with our doctors and nurses. Looking at speculative coastal futures, looking at how we can work together with scientists, marine biologists, looking at how designers can play a very significant role to climate citizen action. And then from there, we move on to having more conversations with our elderly. It's not just conversations that we have at the boardroom, but also conversations we have at the void deck, the kopitiams, our cafes and all that, and how we can also looking at design for care, right? This is a project, the last slide for myself, looking at a project that looks at humanitarian aid. This project is a Red Dot winner and also a project that has garnered a lot of attention. It was a project that looks at how we can help, earthquake victims, people in crisis, a simple design intervention, but also, working alongside scientists, engineers, other designers. I think that's the whole interest, right, that we're all here. We want to have those conversations, how we can work together and how we can work with other communities and other partners. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Alvin.
Yes, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for the presentation. That was really impressive to see how design can be embedded across so many industries. Good morning, everyone. So my name is Elvin. I run the Enterprise AI team in UOB. I must say I'm very privileged to be here. Actually, this SP holds special significance for me because my daughter is a student in SP. I don't think she's in the crowd because she told me she has class, but she's in media and design, so very happy to be here. So as part of my job, essentially we do AI delivery. So I work with my business stakeholders. We bring AI solutions to our businesses. I take care of the AI platforms in the bank. I'm quite involved in line one sort of governance as well, making sure that we deploy our AI responsibly. And I'm also quite involved in the talent development, so working and making sure we upskill our people. And part of that is actually this design thinking sort of journey that we bring our people on. So in terms of reflections, again, no slides from me today, but in terms of reflections, I think this topic is very important and it's very timely and relevant because I'm deep in the space of AI and I can see how fast this technology is moving. I'm sure you guys would have seen out in the press a lot of concerns, and these are, I think, genuine concerns about jobs being lost and people getting displaced. So all the more I think it's important to have this conversation. How do we anchor, right, humans and at the center of everything that we do, right? So I'm very looking forward to this conversation. So thank you.
And I will ask. Oh, okay, there, clickers are ready. Queenie.
Hi, good morning. My name is Quinn. I'm Professor of Psychology at the Singapore University of Technology and Design. Just because we were asked to give a quick introduction of ourselves, so I had a little bit of slide of what we do. So for my own, I started off with developmental psychology, and then I decided to look at lifespan development, partly because I know I'm getting old, so I need to prepare myself. I'm not yet going to be that old, 2030, but I will be, right? So that was one of the motivation. But and what we look at also, especially because we are in SUTD, technology, AI is a very important part of what we look at. And so some of the projects that we do, my lab does, looks at integrating, leveraging on technology to improve a well-being of people. So one of the things we design is looking at how to engage older people, get there so that they can reduce cognitive decline, they can reduce loneliness using technology. So it's very interesting. Some people asked me before, SUTD, you mean there is humanities, arts and social sciences in SUTD? Oh yes, we do. Because the university believes that even if we nurture engineers, computer scientists, it's very important they're grounded. They understand human because they design for people. And so HAS in SUTD really brings human understanding, ethics, societal insights into our technology and design-driven education. So we believe that design is not just, it's not just aesthetics as what John had mentioned earlier today, but it's also about how people think, how systems work, and how meaning is being made. So we really want to nurture our students or even future designers, to be change makers, right? So understand not just how to build something, but also why we build something, for whom are we building it for, and also with what kind of societal impact. So maybe let me share with you something that is very exciting that is going to happen in the next few months, that we increasingly see the impact of humanities, arts and social sciences, right, in the field of AI. And in SUTD, we pivot ourselves to be a design AI university, which means that we embrace AI in research, in education, but we also see AI not just as a tool, but AI as a partner, as a collaborator, right? Or it's important to even understand when AI is not supposed to be a partner, right? When AI is not supposed to be a tool, when do you not rely on AI? So that requires a lot of critical thinking. So I would like to share with you some of the thinking that we're thinking about ahead is really about this idea about human and AI should co-evolve together. So AI has been changing a lot of our life, but AI comes from people, right?